What's up guys, welcome to Found Flicks. 2016 is winding to a close, and that means it's time to look to next year and see what horror movies are on the horizon in 2017. It's shaping up to be huge for the genre with a ton of new films, plus the return of several classic franchises. This list isn't 100% complete, and I'm sure there will be more that will come out that we don't have any info about right now. But this rundown will give you a good idea of what to expect in 2017 in horror. Also, make sure to let me know down in the comments which ones you're looking forward to. So let's get things started by looking at the biggest reboots coming this year. It's been a while since we've seen Jason kill people, and that's a shame. The TV series never made it to air, and the next movie entry has been in various stages of production for years. And while this is supposed to be another reboot rather than continuation, I'm still glad to see Jason finally back on the big screen in any form. The Halloween series has been pretty weak for a while, and the remakes, especially Part 2, were not well received. So what else is there to do besides start all over again with another reboot? But I'm more optimistic about this one due to John Carpenter's role as an executive producer. I feel like they're trying to take the series back to its roots, and Carpenter is definitely the man to get them there. These two to me are the biggest horror events of the year. Jason and Michael Myers are back, folks, but which one will reign supreme? But besides those guys' welcome return, there are several other remakes and sequels also coming this year. So deal with it. They're coming whether you like it or not. First up, we have the battle of ladies shooting CG creatures in tight leather outfits with Mia Jovovich in Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, you tease, and Kate Beckinsale in Underworld Blood Wars. After so many entries in these series, you know exactly what you're getting, so don't expect any real surprises at this point. But honestly, even if these aren't award winners, they are fun in their own way. Leatherface is an odd one, as it seemed to more or less disappear mysteriously from release, with only a poster to prove of its existence. This Texas Chainsaw prequel stars a teenage Leatherface in high school and told another origin story of the iconic Leatherface, because that worked out so well last time. But this time without him in the mask and the chainsaw and stuff. So it seems like this one must suck pretty bad. Tom Cruise takes on an ancient mummy princess in this installment of Universal's Monsters Cinematic Universe. It looks like this version will be more action rather than horror, which I feel like is a mistake. But maybe the movie itself will balance the tone more and still be able to have some terrifying moments in addition to TC running away from things. Universal is banking big time on Cruise's star power here, but will it be enough to finally get their monster universe going? The spooky doll is back. I do like the Conjuring series, but I thought the first Annabelle was pretty lame. It just takes the idea so seriously. It never shows the doll actually walking around with a knife attacking people or anything. I guess I just want it to be child's play, but at least with Chucky they have fun with and recognize the silliness of the possessed doll concept. However, I have a feeling this will turn out better than it has any right to be thanks to the director of Ouija 2, Mike Flanagan. Remaking Dario Argento's classic Italian horror film Suspiria seems like a pointless and impossible task, but that hasn't stopped anyone before. This version stars 50 Shades of Grey's Dakota Johnson, and that's about all we know, so I will try to reserve judgment until we actually see some footage. I wouldn't say there's too much special in my opinion about the original Maniac Cop, other than it featuring Bruce Campbell. It's really just a crazed cop on the loose in the streets of LA killing people. Pretty typical slasher stuff. But this remake with original director William Lustig involved and Nicholas Refn as a creative producer has a chance to outdo the original that inspired it, or at least look really damn cool. This remake of Stephen King's novel has had a troubled production, losing original director Cary Fukunaga, but it is finally on track for release this year. The look of Pennywise is certainly different than the original, with a more retro style. Let's hope it can match the creepiness of Tim Curry's incarnation. And it does include Stranger Things' Finn Wolfhard as one of the kids in another 80s set story, so that's fun. If you can believe it, there are even more series with sequels or remake coming out this year, including the 10th Hellraiser, Hellraiser Judgment, Saw Legacy featuring Jigsaw's son or something, the often delayed Rings, Insidious 4, Deathgasm 2, Deathmageddon, Amityville Awakening, Jeepers Creepers 3, Flatliners featuring Kiefer Sutherland as his original character, the new Children of the Corn appropriately titled Run Away! Run Away! And Reanimator Evolution, which is said to be more inspired by the original Lovecraft story. I know it seems like everything is a remake nowadays, but don't worry, as there is still plenty of original horror coming out this year too. Here's a selection of what I found so far. In this Australian found footage film, 3 tourists making a reality audition tape go on a shark dive. But when a freak wave capsizes the boat, they are left stranded in shark-infested waters. The shark found footage angle was done years ago in open water, but this looks to be a little more action-packed and should still be an entertaining watch. I love anthology films, and this one has the twist of all the segments being directed by and starring females. There's 4 total segments, and the directors were given free reign, but all are horror-centric. The segment I'm most looking forward to is the directorial debut of Annie Clark, aka the Great St. Vincent. She's awesome, and I'm curious to see her artistic style translated into horror. Billed as the Expendables of horror, horror, Death House stars a bunch of genre actors like Kane Hodder, Tony Todd, and Dee Wallace. The plot is all about the Death House itself, which is like an Area 51 of evil, housing all kinds of baddies. The filmmakers have said this will be more straight horror and not tongue-in-cheek. Thanks to the interesting plot and cast, I'm really curious to see how this one turns out. A global pandemic has turned humankind into violent infected, and Matt Smith is the only one who can speak the infected's new language. Thanks to this, the survivors are sent on a hunt for patient zero and also a cure to the infection. I like the concept of this one a lot, and it seems like they're trying to stretch the zombie genre into something we haven't really seen before. Kudos to that. Working an office job sure does suck, but it sucks much worse when the building is placed on lockdown and a mysterious voice commands everyone to kill some of the others, or even more will be killed. The tone looks pretty intense, with man having to turn against each other for survival, but there's still some humor in there thanks to a script by James Gunn. I think there will be a lot of exciting twists and turns with this one, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Gunn and Wolf Creek director Greg McLean have cooked up. Get Out is kind of like a Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with a horror twist. An African-American man goes to visit his white girlfriend's family, and it becomes apparent quickly that there's a more sinister motive for his visit. This is written and directed by Jordan Peele of Key and Peele fame, and I'm impressed by the skills on display in the trailer. It looks really great and also has the excellent Bradley Whitford and Catherine Keener as the parents, who are perfect for that nice with a sinister side kind of feel. The hype for Raw probably can't live up to the movie itself, which notoriously had people passing out and throwing up due to its horrific content. Raw follows a young vegetarian girl who undergoes a carnivorous hazing ritual and as a result gains a taste for human meat. I can see why the cannibal aspect would be too much for a majority of audiences, but that only makes me want to see it even more. Hopefully it can live up to its own hype. Ring director Gore Verbinski returns to horror with A Cure for Wellness. Dane DeHaan stars as an employee sent to a wellness center in the Swiss Alps where everyone is there to be treated for a mysterious disease. Dane begins to uncover the center's terrifying secrets, and after being infected himself, finds his sanity tested. The movie looks really well made, and it's great to see Verbinski back with his always excellent visual style. Three college students unwittingly unleash the evil entity called the Bye-Bye Man, who hunts them down after they discover his name. They have to band together to survive and prevent others from learning his name. It sounds like pretty typical horror fare without anything too interesting or clever to really offer, but maybe it'll have at least a few jump scares. Home invasion meets entertainment in Keep Watching. The Walking Dead's Chandler Riggs and Bella Thorne star as part of a family that is imprisoned by intruders and forced to play a game of kill or be killed. As the nightmare unfolds, they learn about the rules of the game and discover their experience is being broadcasted to an audience around the globe who don't know if what they're seeing is real or staged. This one came out of nowhere, and I think I found the trailer randomly on YouTube, but it looks so bizarre I have to mention it. After the lethargy takes place in a national park where it's discovered that an alien has been living, apparently locked up by some guy. Now it's loose and ready to kill. This looks kind of like an alien slasher film, which is so ridiculous, and I honestly don't think it's been done before. And now let's move out of straight horror into the more sci-fi fantasy realm. These are a few that I'm really looking forward to. Now confirmed to be the third part of the loosely connected Cloverfield universe, God Particle was briefly teased in the marketing for 10 Cloverfield Lane via an audio clip from the International Space Station. God Particle takes us to a space station where a team of astronauts find themselves alone after an experiment probably involving the God Particle itself causes the Earth to disappear. This already sounds pretty cool, and even if it doesn't connect to the series much, should still be a worthwhile film on its own. Those pesky xenomorphs have returned, and now they're busting out of people's backs too. According to the trailer, this follow-up to Prometheus is already delivering way more alien horror action, which I think we can all agree is a good thing. I think they made it clear by calling it Alien Covenant, not Prometheus 2 or something. This is a straight up alien film, and that should be awesome. I also can't wait to see more of Danny McBride's character. He's gotta be the comic relief, right? This Stephen King adaptation is another one that's been in production for years. I've always really wanted to see the story on the big screen, and I like that it's a continuation of the series after the books. The sci-fi western style of the story really begs to be on the big screen, and of course with Idris Elba in a lead role, there's a good chance this one will be worth the wait. I'm honestly kind of still in shock that a Blade Runner sequel is happening. The first one is one of my all-time favorite films, so they have their work cut out for them to make the sequel worthwhile. I do like the director who also did Arrival. The trailer does look nice and moody, and at least Harrison Ford's Deckard will be involved in some capacity. Phew! So that's a pretty exhaustive list of horror movies coming out in 2017. Still surprised there's so much coming out. It's going to be a big year for horror. I'm probably most looking forward to Alien Covenant, Get Out, The Belko Experiment, XX, and of course, Friday the 13th. But which movies are you most excited about? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching Found Flicks. See you next time.